Making your way through work Monday takes everything you got. Then Monday night rolls around and you realize there's a shot. You're only 10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our streets where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Welcome into another Dad Bod Fantasy Squad, everybody. I'm here with House. I don't know where the hell Alex just went.
What happened?
He was
I
here.
don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Did you kick a wire?
Technical difficulties already.
Technical difficulties. But for the audio, you guys can hear him. So he can work on that. All right. Well, House, we hear you. We hear you, buddy. It's been a minute, buddy.
Yeah, man. Glad to be back. Busy with life, man. These kids. This whole dad life thing.
Yeah, taking care of the kiddos, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's baseball games, it's football games, it's softball games. Never stops.
That's
Glad
cool.
to be here and talk some football though.
How many kids do you have?
Two.
Two.
Boy and a
Okay.
girl.
So they got you running around all over the place.
Oh yeah. Yep, 7 and 9, just getting into stuff like not just getting into it, but like really starting to dive in. You know what I mean?
They're at the fun age.
Yeah.
Play some sports, throw the ball around.
Yep.
Maybe give them a tackle every once in a while.
Go get me a beer out of the fridge.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they're good for. Hey, go give me a beer.
They know what's up.
Yeah. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I think
Okay.
my camera might have just died.
Camera went out. Okay. Oh,
There we go.
he's back.
All right. I don't know what the
Hallelujah.
heck was going on? That was weird.
It's all right, dude. We're back. We're better than ever. Alex, how was your weekend, dude?
Pretty good. Played 9 holes with Jenny on Saturday, and
Okay.
then I literally watched football all day Sunday, so no complaints.
Does she play, or is she just driving you around?
No, so I got her clubs like a year and a half ago. So this last one is the most I've had her play. I had her pretty much hit every ball she hit. Usually I'd play like almost a scramble, like just hit from where I hit.
Okay, yeah.
But now I'm like, nope, you're playing. Like it was late at night, so not a lot of people on the
No one
course. So,
behind you.
We have all day, so it was nice. She's getting better. She had some good ones.
Hell yeah, dude. That's always fun.
So here's the question. Did she want to start playing, or was this just an excuse for you to say, I want to play more golf? Here, come with me.
Yeah, that's
She actually was like, I kind of want to play, and
Right.
it just gets us out of the house, and like we have a park near us, but it's like it gets us out, and there's some cool courses, so drink, listen to music, drive the golf cart, hit some balls. It's a good time. It's a good way to kill 2 hours.
it's fun. You get out, something to do together, kind of
Yeah.
not sit in the house and the same old. So
It's a
that's
good
cool,
time.
dude. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right, boys. So we have a packed show today. We're gonna try to keep this sucker moving. Quick news: just came out of Buffalo. Gabe Davis is not playing tonight. Yeah, we're gonna get you guys out of here before the Monday night game starts. So that's the first game. So if you have him in your lineup, hopefully you got another Monday night receiver. Luckily, there's 2 games, so that does help.
You got 10 minutes till kickoff of that game to make a change. Get on it.
Yeah.
Make the change.
Go take care of that if you can before the kickoff. It came out of left field. I didn't see too much on Gabe Davis being hurt, so a little bit of an ankle issue. That's what we're being told. Anyways, let's get into we're gonna do the early slate of Sunday. So we're gonna kick it off with Alex versus House here, Pats versus Steelers. I'm gonna sit back on this one. I don't have too many questions for you guys. They're both your squads. So let's start. Alex, give me a rundown of the Pats and let me know what you think and who's like a viable play, who's a person you want on your squad, if you want any, who's rosterable, who's not.
I think it comes down to this pretty much the same guys you were going to roster last year. So Damien Harris, you're going to, when it's close games, he does well. When they're down, he's irrelevant. Ramondre, I think you keep on your bench for injury purposes. And then Jacoby Myers, I think is somebody, he's a flex or somebody you keep on your roster. It's going to be a rough season for them. Are any of them going to be superstars? Do I think any of them finish in the top 15? No, I don't think that happens. But I think a few of them you roster.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be a week by week thing for the Pats.
So Jacoby, fun stat for you. There is good correlation with your route percentage target share and air yardage, right? Percentage. So he is up there with like some of the best. He's at 38% of target share and a 36% air yardage, which is, I mean, that's good for a receiver. That's really good. It's just, I don't know, I don't know if it's viable in that type of offense. It's not, I don't know if it's sustainable. I don't know if it's going to pan out, but yeah, I'm with you. So Ramondre, you're saying sit on your bench and wait it out?
It's kind of one of like going into the season, I didn't want anybody drafting Harris as an RB2. And if you did, the lowest RB2 as maybe a flex. Ramondre, if an injury happens, Damien Harris is an RB2. You keep Ramondre on your bench. Harris, I think, is still a flex. Or if you're playing a team like the Steelers or a team who is not, that is okay to bad, then you can play Harris.
Okay. That's fair.
But that's it.
That's fair. House, Steelers, injury-riddled Steelers team.
It's ugly right now.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
It's real bad. Yeah, I mean, look, you're still rostering Najee.
Yep.
Deontay in PPR leagues is clearly their number one.
Yep.
The best play, though, for the Steelers right now is probably Freiermuth. He's been the only one through 2 games that has been consistent. I think he's tight end 6 through the first 2 weeks. That's not a big sample size. But, Deontay's making a couple plays here and there. The offensive line is so bad. So bad.
Really
Najee's just – his efficiency, it was bad last year. It's going to be bad this year. It's all going to be based on volume. There was even some video that came out from some local Pittsburgh guys that I follow on Twitter and whatnot. And I mean, he was missing holes too. There were a couple of plays where they actually did open a hole up and he just completely missed it.
Najee?
A 10-yard run could turn into a 2-yard run because he went the wrong way. So I don't know if that's just trying to sort it out right now or not being confident in that line, but
the offensive line is a lot of them's new, right?
Yeah. Yep. They got
could take some time. We've definitely seen that in Cincinnati. So I mean, they spent big bucks on legitimate, proven vets that should be able to play. And their offensive line looks,
worse than the NFL.
It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
Worse than the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks in. We already got Kenny Pickett chance going in the stadium. So
I was wondering when that was coming.
Oh, it came early.
So I haven't watched too much of them. How is Trubisky looking? Does he look bad, or is it just like he's got no time to throw the ball?
Little column A, little column B. Like I don't think he has been pressured to the point where he's running for his life. But he's just not hitting guys, right? So
yeah,
I don't know if he's not making the reads, the receivers aren't getting open, whatever it is. But I mean, and part of it might be the game plan. I'm not sold on Canada as a
Neither am
as
I.
a play
I
caller.
never have been, to be honest.
You know, he had a flash in the pan year when he was at Pitt that he ran a lot of gadget stuff, and they had a really great offense there. But that was, you know, that doesn't translate necessarily to the NFL. So it's the perfect storm of garbage right now. And I hate to say it because that's, you know, like you said, my team, but Najee, keep rolling him out there, right? He's a stud when he's going, and you're never going to sit him. Deontay and I'd run Freiermuth out there.
Yeah.
Stay away from everybody
Deontay.
else.
So do we have worries for Deontay?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'd run him out there right now, probably as a flex, maybe a wide receiver too.
That's right.
But the way Mitch is playing right now, it's not going to be like last year.
Yeah, through 2, he's wide receiver 36.
Yeah.
Again, small sample. DJ Moore is 40, so it's like it's tough.
Don't want to go too crazy early on, right?
But, I mean, honestly, like for me, those are the type of players. Like I would try to trade for him right now, if it's me. Like Deontay's a proven good player. I understand Mitch Trubisky's not great. I understand that. I understand like even if Kenny Pickett comes in, he's not going to be great. The offensive line sucks, but still, you would assume the guy's going to get a tremendous amount of targets thrown his way.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you know, an 8-yard out, whatever. Like the guy, if it's PPR, this is all PPR, by the way.
Yeah.
In PPR, like I wouldn't mind trying to trade for him now because again, I mean, he's been rough. The offense has been rough. So just an idea. I like trying to trade for those like early season disappointments. And if they pan out, like that's awesome. And if they don't, you probably didn't give up too much anyways. So
yeah, you're buying lower than you normally would. So
yeah.
It's worth a shot, right?
Yeah, I'm with you though. I think Deontay, Najee, is Claypool rosterable in your opinion, or is it just kind of like, are you cutting
Depends
him?
how big the league, 14 team, yeah, 12 team, 10
Exactly.
team, no.
Maybe in a deep 12 team, right?
Yeah.
So
How about this? Okay, between the two, right? So, say you got Claypool, would you drop him for Jacoby Myers?
I would.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's where we're at.
I think he's clearly gonna get more run in that offense in New England than
wide
than
receiver.
Claypool's getting right now.
What do you say? Top 3 wide receiver? Top 6? What was he saying?
Oh, Claypool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
he
much
said
for
he's
that,
top 3, whatever.
So much for that.
They got to give him the
Okay.
ball.
Drugs do crazy things.
Top 3 falling down.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Let's keep on moving. We're gonna hit this Panthers-Giants game. It was an interesting game. Baker, man, that's a Baker game. As a Browns fan, I know what that is, man. He threw for 140 yards. I think a touch. Yeah, he threw it for a touchdown. McCaffrey, look, he ran for over 100 yards. He was involved in the passing game. If you took him number 1 overall, man, it's not what you really want to see because he didn't find the end zone. But I still like how they're going about this, right? They're not going to give him 30 targets. They're not going to, or 30 touches. I'm cool with that. I think they're going to give him more and more and more as the season goes on, especially if they're losing. Again, because Matt Rule's job is on the line no matter what.
Oh, he's fired.
I agree with that. No
He's
questions
gone.
about it.
Doesn't even have a chance to earn another
0.
year.
But I'm
He's
just saying,
gone.
every game they lose, I think they need to give McCaffrey more touches. Is where I'm at this point. Just because it's like Matt Rule has to know, shit. Like I gotta find a way to win, and the only way they're gonna find a way to win is McCaffrey and DJ Moore. DJ Moore 6 targets, 3 receptions, 43, and a tutty. Again, nothing crazy, but I kind of talked about this in an article I wrote up where I think his first 3 games are going to be slow, and then I think he'll pick it up. Him and Baker clearly need to get on the same page. They barely practice together in the offseason. It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
He's tremendous. He's a great player.
Yeah.
I think they're going to figure it out because he is that good. House. This Carolina offense, besides McCaffrey, DJ, what are you doing? Are you touching anybody else? Are they so McCaffrey, no doubt, like you're starting him no matter what.
Yeah.
DJ, are there concerns with how it started? Him and Baker only throwing for 145 yards. That's concerning.
Yeah, there's concern there for sure, depending on how that offense is going to run, right? You know, Baker is what he is. You know, he could come out and sling it all around, and you know he can throw the ball. I think he has a decent arm. It's just putting him in that situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there some concern with DJ Moore? You know, he's one of those ones right now that I'm looking at as a flex or
Deontay-esque.
Yeah, he's in that same kind of. Sorry, my internet browser was playing an ad and it was duplicating in my headphones there, so I was like, "What's going on here?" But yeah, he's in that kind of Deontay boat where we talked about earlier. You know, I think I love DJ Moore as a player, and you know, I'm holding on to him. Like you said, first couple of games might be rough, but I think they're going to click. Aside from him and McCaffrey, though, I mean, are you shooting for boom or bust Robbie Anderson as maybe a late or mid-season, like, I got 4 guys on a bye, I got to get somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
He might catch a 60-yard touchdown, maybe. But outside of those couple players, I'm going nowhere near that team.
Dude, I don't even know if Robbie Anderson's rosterable. I don't. Like, he's a DFS play on the right week. Like, if you catch lightning in a bottle, he's a good DFS play. But
like I said, he's oh shoot, I drafted wrong and I got 3 receivers on a bye at the same time,
mm-hmm.
or I got a couple injuries. Let me stream some receivers here and hope for lightning in a bottle for a week. But I'm not keeping him on my roster all year.
I agree, man. I don't know who else is even like in a discussion to be on your roster. I don't know. Giants. Let's get to the Giants here real quick. They're 2-0. I mean, if you're a New York fan, you gotta love what's going on. This is how it's gonna play out with the Giants, in my opinion. Like, they are going to just try to pound the ball. They're gonna run it. They're gonna play solid defense. I don't think they're gonna let Daniel Jones kill them. Try to keep him under like 30 attempts. Try to keep him under 25 attempts. More likely is what I'm thinking. Alex, you rostering anybody but Saquon?
Shepard. Yeah, I'm gonna roster Shepard.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if it's a 2 QB league, I don't think it's crazy to maybe just keep an eye on Daniel Jones.
I'm with you on that.
It's early in the season, but you know Daniel Jones is going to run the ball a little bit, and they're gonna. I hate saying it, but if this team can stay healthy and that defense can keep playing like they're playing, they're gonna win a lot of ugly games. And I think you got to keep an eye on Daniel Jones, and Saquon might have a really big year. And Shepard, honestly, would it surprise me if he got close to 100 catches this year? No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't.
Yeah. What's he got? I mean, Daniel Jones through 2 weeks has 16 rush attempts.
That's what I'm saying. You got to keep an eye on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was talking to Mario about that. I feel like every year at the end of the season, I always look at the metrics of like fantasy points per game. And Daniel Jones if he always finishes like QB 30, but it's because he plays 12 games. Like, he's always fantasy points per game, though. He's always in the top like 15 just because he runs so much. And he, for some reason, he'll always like bust one for like an 80-yarder. Like, he always finds a window or something.
And then he trips over no one.
Yes, correct. I'm with you, though. Like, 2 QB leagues, I don't mind Daniel Jones being on your roster. I don't mind Shepard. He's got a 25% target share of this offense. He had 10 targets this week alone. So if they're going to throw the ball, it looks like they're looking for him.
Oh, for sure. He's good when he plays, man. He always has been.
They're certainly not looking for Tony or Galladay.
I was going to say Kadarius Toney.
I've been saying this from preseason. It's is he fast? Is he athletic? Awesome. Cool. Does he seem like he's a pain in the ass to have on your team? 100%. Yeah, don't even roster him. You can leave him on the waiver wire.
It's wild. It's so wild to me.
Talent
'Cause
doesn't
he's
always
so
translate,
good.
man. It just doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean, even the comments like
Tavon Austin.
the weird thing too is like the comments after the first game, they're like, "Are you mad? You only got 7 snaps." He said the right thing, you know. He was like, "I just want to win." That's it. That's what he said. You know, like I don't know. I don't know. Something happened. I don't know if it's the GM because he requested that trade. He's like, "Forget him. Like, don't even play him. Let's see what else we got." Don't know, but it's definitely weird because he is one of their better players. There's no question about it.
Maybe. We don't really know. We saw him play how many games last year? Like, I mean, realistically, we saw a flash in the pan and we're just assuming that he's a good football player.
Sure. But like, man, when he touches the ball, he's electric. He really is.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, even the first game, he got some of those plays he had were nice. I digress. Yeah, I agree though. It's like to the point with Tony now, he's cuttable. I don't know what else you can do. Like, I don't, he's not even getting on the field, which sucks. But let's get over to Jets versus Browns. We're talking fantasy only. That's it. That's all we're talking about. I don't care about your guys' opinions about
Moment
anything.
of silence for Rob.
I was at the game. I cried. It sucked. I was there with the 1:30 after Chubb scored the third touchdown, and literally 80% of the stadium left, high-fiving, giving me fist bumps. We're 2-0, and we end up 1-1. So I don't even want to talk about that part of it, but let's get to, so let's start with the Jets. Alex, Breece Hall, Carter, it's definitely like a 50-50 share. They both look okay. They both look good, but they're 50-50.
Yeah.
What's your plans with this backfield? Are you playing either of them? Obviously, they're both rosterable. But like, what's your outlook for the rest of the season?
Long-term, Breece Hall is going to end up taking a little bit more snap share, I think, every game. That's my opinion. But the offense is going to be really weird to where Wilson comes back. I mean, when there's been other QBs starting, Corey Davis is relevant. Like Garrett Wilson had a big game. You don't know if it's going to be the same. You have no idea. Wilson come out and just sling it, and the running backs, both of them could be irrelevant. They could be behind games and they're just pass catching backs, and 50% share with pass catching backs is not a fun, day to have them. But I think long term, even this season, Breece Hall's the guy you want, obviously.
I think you're right. Just from what I saw yesterday, Breece looked good. He looked very
smooth.
Good.
He's very smooth.
He was making people miss. He was running very, very good routes for a running back. Like, he was getting open easily. He's got potential. I agree with you. I think by the end of the season, it'll be Breece, and maybe they'll trade Carter next year, but they're both pretty good. Garrett Wilson, man, did he have a day. 102, 2 touchdowns, a 33% target share, 45% of the air yards, and I think he threw the ball 45 times. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. He looked awesome doing it too. Like, he was just carving the defense up. Is he a must start? Like, is that where we're at right now with him?
It's the Jets. You have a different QB. You don't know what
2 more weeks of Flacco. Oh, so let's say this: 2 weeks of Flacco. The next 2 weeks.
You don't honestly. I think I think he's maybe a flex, but you really don't know. I mean, the offense is just, they could be really good, but you don't know who to play. You don't. Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson. It's going to be. I like Garrett Wilson. I think he looks better than I thought he was going to be. Olave looked pretty decent too. Those guys are surprising me. But
Buckeye boys.
Yeah. I think he's a flex. Don't throw him in your wide receiver 2 yet. It is a big game, but you know how this goes with the Jets.
Yeah. I can't argue with anything you said. I mean, if you're like wide receiver let's kind of break this apart. If you have a combo of like Deontay, DJ, and Garrett Wilson, where are you going? Because that's definitely a
DJ.
possible. Okay, you're playing DJ. Okay, Deontay and
Deontay.
Garrett. House.
So I have to start one of those, and the other two are on my bench. Is that what we're talking?
Yeah, let's do two of the three. Pick two of the three out of those.
Two of the three.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Deontay and DJ Moore. Because that's definitely doable to have all three of those on your team.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I mean, we know what you're doing, Mooney, but he was in that bucket too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it probably really depends on matchups for me. I probably lean Deontay and DJ Moore, but I'm struggling with it every Sunday at about 12:30.
It's harder than
especially while Flacco's playing.
It sounds crazy to even it sounds crazy to even bring it up, man. But
yeah,
just to remind you, the Browns secondary dumpster fire.
Right now, it is for sure.
So
they're calling for heads right now. It's
you have Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder in back there playing DB.
The most insane thing, because it was supposed to be the strongest part of our entire team, was supposed to be the DBs with like 3 first-rounders, and then you got Grant Delpit, which was a second-rounder, and you bring in JJ or
big plays, man.
John Johnson. It's just
giving up big plays.
Browns is the Browns.
It has been a issue the past 3 seasons under Joe Woods. So
so
something's going to happen
for the Jets. You've just got to realize Flacco's been playing well, but he's still Joe Flacco.
Robbie Anderson had a bomb last week in week 1 too against the Brownies. So
just got to be careful.
Okay. So we got to Garrett. I mean, I said this when Joe Flacco was announced starter for the first 4 games. I said maybe you want to roster Davis, because they kind of work together. It's just kind of that he likes to throw the ball deep. Davis is a deep threat. They are connecting. He's not getting a ton of target share, but they're making
volume worries there.
Is he rosterable right now, or is he just kind of like a DFS play? Are you okay? So would you play him?
Matchup. I mean, I rostered him last week, and I debated playing him this week. I wish I did, but Corey Davis last year was pretty solid before injuries started happening.
I like Corey Davis.
He's not amazing, but he's not bad. It was just injuries with him. So I would be more comfortable probably starting Corey Davis next week than Garrett Wilson.
Wow. See, the issue for me on that is he did not do anything. He didn't do anything until that last bomb. But he seems to always get a big play. So I get it. So Elijah Moore, what are you doing?
Nobody knows.
Right? It's like, I don't know what to do with him. And then you can figure it out. But in 2 weeks, you're getting Zach Wilson back. What's going to happen then?
Yeah.
It's just, this offense is tough, man. It's a tough kind of like, where are you going? So I don't think I'm going to start a Jet player until Zach Wilson's back, and then even give it a week to see how it plays out. But that's halfway through the fucking season. So it's
you're halfway through the year before you have any idea what this looks like.
Exactly, man. It's just like, what do you even do? Like, I'm trying to trade Elijah Moore in my 1 league because I don't know what the hell to do with him. Nobody wants him though. Off to the Browns. The two running backs. Obviously, I think they're starts. I don't think there's a question about it. Kareem Hunt, he didn't have the greatest game, but it was still flex worthy. It was still good. He was getting like good high quality touches like in the red zone. It just, he's going to be involved. There's no question about it. Chubb, 3 touchdowns. I think he's RB1 right now. He's a beast. So I have no question of starting them. Amari Cooper,
100% start those two.
He's back, right? He's back. I thought it was going to take a game or 2 for Brissett to kind of get rolling. He didn't play barely any in the preseason. He got half the snaps during training camp because they were getting Deshaun Watson reps because he needed them. Cooper looked awesome. He looked every bit of Cowboys Amari Cooper from a couple years ago, getting open left and right, tough catches. He was making contested catches, touchdown. I think he's a lock and load start from here on out. I have no concerns about him. And Brissett, I mean, for as much shit as that guy gets, he's a competent quarterback. He looked good
against the Jets.
That's fair. I mean, it's fair, but it's still a professional football team, and the guy was.
Yeah.
I mean,
he looked okay. He looked better than I thought he would look.
The one I looked up, he was like 15 to 16 for like 200 yards. I mean, it's not like he was, and that's the thing he does, man. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to be safe with it. And who's safe? Amari Cooper. That's just kind of where I'm at. I think he's a start.
Brissett was what, 22 of 27, one touchdown, one pick.
Yeah. The pick was the last play of the game when he was trying to make a play. So
yeah, he's not going to blow you away, but he's not. I don't ever think he's going to have that. Like,
you're never going to start Jacoby Brissett.
No, I'm not playing him. Are we dropping Njoku?
Probably.
It's at that time. He's definitely not a start.
I think it depends
I'd like
on
to
your
keep
league,
him.
right?
Yeah,
depends on the league that you're in. If you're in a dynasty deep, 12 to 14 teams.
Yeah, not dynasty.
Let's
talk a redraft. Redraft 12 person, one tight end.
Yeah, I'm when the bye week comes up for my top tight end, I'm streaming somebody. And
shitty part is he was a top tight end for a lot of people. So who are we picking up for him, right? So are we? Man, I wish I had the data in front of me, but like the who the rosterable percentage is, who's out there in the free agency. Logan Thomas. Are you starting him over Njoku?
Yes.
Evan Ingram, I don't think is a question, but he was probably drafted in most leagues.
One of us called out Logan Thomas as a deep sleeper this year, by the way.
You did. You also called out Brevin Jordan, so
I sure did.
Let's call him.
I gotta take the wins where I can.
I don't hate it, brother. I was with you on that. I wanted me some Brevin. So it's disappointing with Njoku because I think he's got the talent. They're just not really finding a way to get him the ball. So let's keep it moving because I want to forget that game. Anyways, so let's go to Colts Jags. Holy shit! What a shocker! I mean, that was not anticipated. I mean, the Michael Pittman Jr. Equation obviously didn't help, but I still didn't see that coming at all. Okay, let's start house. Let's start with the Colts here. Pittman's he's a lock and load. He's one of the best players. JT, what are you going to do?
Pittman and Taylor, yeah. I mean,
other than that, is there anybody in consideration to even play? I don't even think that anyone else is rosterable.
No, I'm looking at the stats right now. I mean, no.
Right?
Ashton Doolin, Nyheim Hines.
I mean, I think Nyheim Hines is rosterable.
Handcuff.
I would have him on my bench. He's a pass catching back. Like he's if you need a RB on like a bye week, you can toss him in. Hopefully get 8 to 10 points just with his catching. Other than that, man, like the shitty part is like if Pittman's out, how much does that hurt JT? I mean, JT had 50 yards.
Yeah.
I understand they were getting blown out, but holy shit. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't anticipate, like, okay, Pittman's not there. JT might have, like, a tougher game, but, man, was it rough.
That O-line just isn't as good as they thought it was supposed to be.
That's a good point. I mean, people were high on Matt Ryan coming in. I thought he'd be decent, but he doesn't look good.
Well, he doesn't have anybody to throw to either. So let's keep that.
He has nobody.
Yeah,
there was nobody for him to throw to this weekend.
That's
Paris Campbell's a bust. Cut him. Trash. Like they literally had no one.
Yeah. It doesn't look good there without Pittman in the lineup. I don't know.
It was Carson Wentz's fault last year. Okay.
I've been all right with Carson, so don't you throw me in there. Okay. Alex, let's get to the Jags because I think we know what's going on with the Colts right now. It is what it is.
It's Pittman and Taylor and nobody else.
Yep.
Yep.
Jags. Christian Kirk.
Yeah. I mean,
Stud.
not like I called it. I mean,
Hey, I was with you, brother. I was
Yeah.
with you, man. I was with.
yeah,
I didn't.
Me
what
and
do
you both were on the Sun God.
Where do you have him?
Yeah. Kirk, I don't remember. I haven't. It's gonna be tough. Let me see.
I had him at 20,
I don't know if I had him at 20.
which seems low right
I had
now.
25.
25.
I had him at
Had him
25.
at 20. I thought that again, money talks, dude. Money. They were gonna find a way to get the guy the ball. They
He's
obviously
stud,
had a
dude.
plan. He's
Arizona's feeling
good,
it,
dude.
right now.
Arizona's stupid. We all know this. Like,
Feeling it.
what are we thinking? They don't know what they're doing. But shit,
No.
does he look awesome?
It's a
dude.
team. This Jags team is. They're fun
Speak
to
on
watch.
it.
Yeah, they're
Speak
fun
on
to
it.
watch unless you have Travis Etienne. They're so fun to watch.
Oh.
But Trevor Lawrence is gonna. There's a high likelihood he ends up being that dude. Christian Kirk is that dude. Evan Ingram is that dude. Like James Robinson. I mean, I was really. I was. That was my argument. The whole time. And Mario convinced me. Mario's a smart guy.
He's
Don't
stupid.
say that. Don't say that.
He's an idiot.
I know I can be wrong. Everybody, you're never 100% right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I've got to be wrong about Etienne. I think he's good. I've got to be wrong about him. James Robinson, maybe this Achilles thing, maybe this data that Mario,
Yeah.
shoved down my throat for 3 months.
I can't argue that because the data, everything
Right.
about. I'll say this though, I wasn't as low. I mean, I've talked to Mario about this. I've said it a few times. I think he was with me by the end of, by the start of the season. James Robinson, all the Achilles injuries that we kind of have data to go over, they're very east to west, quick, twitchy, cutting, that kind of stuff. That's how they tore their Achilles.
And they're usually later in their career.
That's true as well. There's look at Cam Akers. This is a good example of where I was at with this. Cam Akers is he's elusive. He makes people miss tackles. Yeah. He's all over the place when he's got the ball. That an Achilles injury, that's what that hurts. James Robinson, he's never been fast. He's never been elusive. He's never been trying to make people miss. It is get the ball, put your head down, find the
North
hole
and south, baby.
Kareem Huntish,
Yes.
right? He's a Kareem Huntish kind of running back. I don't think the Achilles is that much of an. I mean, it hurts still, but with an Achilles with that kind of back, I think we'll see that.
Akers looked almost the same as Henderson yesterday too, and that's so. I just think there's so much advancement in science. I mean, if we go back to where
I agree.
Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, didn't even sit out a year, came out and he was the best player in football.
Sure.
I think we've just got to be more careful when it comes to injuries. I mean, an ACL injury 10 years ago was almost a 2-year injury.
We'll see.
Now
I mean,
it's 6 months.
It's do you want to be the first person to take the gamble and hopefully you hit? I don't want to be that. I don't want to take the gamble on a Cam. I'll take a shot at a James Robinson in
for sure.
The 11th
Cam
round.
Akers was right.
Cam Akers going in the 4th or 5th. I want nothing to do with that just because of how I was.
And he only had 5 good games, but James Robinson is that dude. He can take the hits. He's going to be the goal line back. This offense is going to be good enough. I think long-term Etienne gets more involved, but he is not going to get 15 carries. He's probably not going to even get 12 carries.
The issue for me, man, is I don't even care about the carries. He was supposed to be a pass catching, okay, he's going to get 10 targets, not 10, but he's going to get some targets. Dude, he's got 8 through 2 games, which it's good. It's nothing special. It's not going to make him, especially if you're only getting 5-6 carries. It's not going to make you playable.
Him and James Robinson have almost the same amount of catches.
It's close.
Let's see. It's Etienne had 7 through 2 games. James Robinson only had 3, but yeah.
You got to look at the targets, right? 8 targets. for Travis Etienne. Everyone thought he was going to get like 100 targets. It ain't going to happen.
I think he's a flex play. I think best case scenario, he's a flex play.
I don't think
it's a scary flex play.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm playing him until I see some like him on the field more, some more he needs to get more opportunities. He's just not getting them.
Let's chill out a little bit because Robinson averaged 2.8, so very, very inefficient.
That's fine, but that's what he was before.
2.8 that's just carry, though.
I mean, he's gonna get in the end zone though.
He is good. That's
what I mean.
The thing with him, he's going to be touchdown dependent,
and he's gonna get the bulk of the work.
He's getting the work. That's the thing. If you're picking on this team, he's getting the work. But
doesn't the Colts have a pretty good
ripping off?
They do. Colts have a good rush defense.
That's what I'm saying. They've got a good rush defense, so it's like I think Robinson, you're expecting at the end of the season probably low 4s.
Yeah,
I mean I think that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. Okay, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne we covered, James Robinson, I think are flexible.
Ingram roster.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with him as your tight end 1?
Right now, no.
7 catches, 8 targets, 45 yards is where he was at.
Roster him, keep an eye on him.
I'm with you. I think he can have value. 8 targets is good. That's good for a tight end. Yardage, not what you want to see, but he's always had the talent. It's just the opportunity. We'll kind of see where it's at. Anyone else? Zay Jones.
Roster maybe.
How do we feel about playing Trevor Lawrence? Yes or no?
It's a good question. I think you trust it?
Depending on the matchup. I mean, I just see him.
Would you have been comfortable starting him this week? Obviously, we know how it ended up, but like going into this week against Indy,
I wouldn't have touched him.
I wouldn't have touched it either.
No. Yeah. I mean, I did in my dynasty league because it's a 2 QB, but
in a super flex, that's a different story, right? But
no, I wouldn't have. But going forward, I think depending on the matchup, 2 QB leagues definitely. I think you can if it's a 1 QB league. I think he's worth rostering. I think.
Who are you playing, him or we'll get to this game later. Who are you playing, him or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay, I don't know how often we would start him in a regular QB because there's so many people on your waiver. Like Jared Goff's probably in 80% of leagues. You can pick him up and start him. It's like, so when's the time? When are we going to pull the trigger on him? Right. I mean, if he keeps balling out and going for 350 and 4 tutties, like sure.
The running thing is enticing that he can run it. So
he runs more. Yeah, he's decent with that. So obviously keep an eye on him. Etienne, I'm scared.
Me too.
Christian Kirk, I'm thrilled. I don't have any shares of him. I traded him away like a dumbass, but
big time dumb move.
It was to get CeeDee Lamb, and that's
big time dumb move.
That's panning out great.
That's working out for you right now.
Yeah. So it's just kind of my season so far. Dolphins Ravens. Let's get over there. What a freaking game! I mean, there's nothing else to say about it.
Pay the man.
You have to back the brink trucks up. The dude's gonna get $300 million guaranteed. But honestly, whatever, they're gonna franchise tag him, probably multiple years.
French toast tag him, sign me up.
Something like that. A Kirk Cousins kind of thing is gonna happen, I believe. Hopefully, he doesn't sign it because that dude deserves to get paid. He's balling out. Hopefully, he stays healthy. House would start with Miami. Tyreek Waddle, holy shit!
Moment of silence for me. Leaving Waddle on my bench in favor of Jerry Jeudy because I was worried about the matchup with Baltimore.
Yeah.
I was regretting that all day long, and I'm going to lose in the matchup that I did it. So, those 2 guys, I know we talked a lot at the beginning of the year about who was going to be, was Hill going to impact Waddle? Was Waddle going to impact Hill?
Yeah.
Clearly through 2 weeks, they're both going off. I think Waddle is tied with Amon-Ra St. Brown for total points. as wide receiver 1, and Hill would technically be 3.
I think Cooper Kupp's 1. Hill's 2.
Well, Kupp hasn't. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well,
Cooper Kupp's 1.
No.
Tyreek 2, and then I got Amon and Jalen tied for.
Oh, you know what? I'm
3,
looking
4.
at. I switched it over and I went to standard. You're right.
Christian Kirk's 6, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Good for
My
him.
bad. What I was looking at had Kupp lower because it was standard PPR. He's
No,
number
you're
one
good.
for sure. But yeah, I mean, those two guys must starts.
Can you imagine if they both finish top 5?
That'd be wild.
I mean,
It's not
all that
ain't
talk we
gonna
had
happen,
about can
but
you support
that'd be
2 top
sick.
10, and it was
I'll
all
tell you,
about Cincinnati.
there was I'm gonna shout him out now. There was one guy that came on, Conan Gruen. He was the first guy to bring it up that he was all in that they were both going to be top 15, I believe, or top 12.
I believe it. Yeah.
Wide receiver plays.
Yeah.
And I had to reevaluate my Jalen Waddle ranking because I had Waddle low just because Tyreek was there. Redid it. I think I moved Jalen Waddle up like 20, 30 spots.
I think Waddle ends up finishing higher than Hill. I mean, it's Hill until later in the game. It was Waddle.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I rewatched that game today, and it was all Waddle. Every
Waddle's a
time Tua needed to
dog.
play, he went to Waddle. And then there were 2 busted coverages from the Ravens that Tyreek literally all he did was run right by the cornerback, and it was an 80-yard bombs that just it was. But that's
left-handed
Tyreek Hill,
Uncle
man.
Rico could have thrown those balls to him.
It's Tyreek Hill though. That's what he is, and that's why again,
Yeah.
Tua is. Are we starting Tua? Like Tua is a good play just because of the pieces around him.
As a QB1?
You almost have to right now.
Where
It's
you at?
hard.
Yeah, you have to right now.
It's so hard.
Is it?
It's 2 games. The Ravens, I mean,
They're throwing it though. They're throwing a lot.
they are. The running back situation is terrible. Whoever
100%.
is on the Chase Edmonds, train, Mario, he's dumpster, trash.
I don't know. You can't start any running back there.
No.
Can't. I think it depends who your QB is right now, is what it really comes down
Look
to.
at the. I mean, dude, I have Trey Lance and 5.
Well, yeah.
A bunch of my
duh.
leagues. Like I'm
But
gonna be
you
lucky
have
if
Matt
I can pick Tua.
Stafford, do you start Tua over him? That's tough. If you have Joe Burrow, are you
question.
putting Tua over him?
Right now, 100% absolutely.
But that's the thing. Like,
After 2 weeks, seeing what both teams have done, 100% next week. I would start Tua over
but
Burrow.
that's the thing.
I don't even know who they're playing.
Things can
Matchup.
turn around. I think you have to roster him. I think if you have a low end QB1, then you spend all the dollar bills and getting Tua this week because he's available.
Hopefully.
But if you have a top 5 QB, that's tough. That's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not talking the top 5 guys, right? So I'm
You're not going to
talking
start him
about
over
Patty
Allen
Mahomes.
or Herbert or
But-
Mahomes.
That's it.
But-
So a good comparison is Stafford, right? Like
That's a tough one.
it's a tough one, but that's where I'm at, right? So
You
Tua
have a
has put
bigger
himself.
sample size.
But I'm saying
Tua
Tua
is
has
a
put
very small
himself-
sample size
Tua's put himself in the conversation,
for sure.
right? Which is what you wanted, like
Everybody,
in
I
all
think,
for not,
on this-
man.
Yeah, I think all of us on the podcast were Tua's like that
I
was
was
a
off.
sleeper.
I was a little lower on him, to be
Okay.
honest with you. But he
Would you start Tua or Derek Carr if you had him, Alex?
Tua.
that's a good question, right?
Would
That's
you start
Tua.
Tua or Kirk Cousins?
That's close.
Kirky.
Yeah,
I have to
that's-
stick with my guns on Kirk.
That's
so,
that's
man.
close. But I mean,
I'm just
see
randomly picking
tonight.
people
Let's see
with
tonight.
good weapons around them, right? So
Yeah, it's a tough one because Tua's shown he's shown something.
Yeah,
All right, let's keep the sucker moving. Basically, the 2 receivers are starting. Tua, you're rostering. I don't think anybody else there's even rosterable. I mean,
Gesicki
obviously.
maybe.
is he? We'll
He had a good
keep
game.
moving. Let's keep moving. We can talk about him later. House, Ravens. Okay. Lamar's
Lamar.
Lamar. Keep him
Yep.
moving,
running backs are a mess right now.
right?
So
They
until
had
Dobbins
16
comes back,
total.
you figure it out.
16 total rushes. Like, I'm not going to touch anybody till JK's back. And then I'm going to wait a week to see what's going to
Yep.
happen. I want to see JK when he comes back and how this offense will move around a little bit. Lamar
Yeah.
ran the ball 10 times. So that's like their primary back is Lamar.
Yeah.
Bateman, 4 receptions, over 100 yards, a touchdown.
He had a good
I think
game.
it was on 7 targets, so that was good. Are you comfortable playing? Like, I'm still kind of
Playing Bateman?
playing Bateman, to be honest.
He's a flex, maybe.
Yeah.
Flex, yeah,
He's a maybe.
I'm
He's
with you on
not-
a flex.
Yeah, because he did nothing last week till late, and he got
Yeah.
that big catch, right?
And even
So,
even this week though, like if you watch a game, it was all on one play.
yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. With
so that's
him.
why I'm
he's-
nervous.
He's your wide receiver 3. He's a flex. He's
Scary.
not consistent enough yet.
That's
and,
and
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's where like I just thought this offense was going to be way more spread out than it has been in the past years because it was all Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. That's where all the targets went, and I don't see it this year. I think it's going to be.
Bateman's not that much better than Duvernay, and Duvernay had a concussion last. Yeah.
No.
But with him in there, he's taking targets away from Bateman. It's obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that return. He's electric.
He's good.
He's
good.
good. He's electric.
Yeah. I mean, I think you play him. I think you play Bateman.
Yeah.
It's matchup based for me
Yeah.
too. It scares me though to play.
there's
him.
only 2 surefire plays, and it's quarterback and tight end.
Yes,
For sure.
Other than that, man, it's kind of tough. They're gonna put points up though, but it's all gonna be Lamar and Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to this Bucks and Saints game. Not what anyone really thought of, how this game. I think it ended 2010. Tom Brady looked not great, but he didn't have Julio.
Ton
Godwin.
of drops.
Mike Evans got kicked out, dealing with his 4th, 5th, and he was down bad with weapons. Which is weird I thought Lenny would be more involved in the pass game, but he really wasn't. He only had like 4 or 5 targets, but he got all the rushing work. I think he had over 20 touches. So like Lenny's he's a surefire start. Like he's getting all the work. He'll get more involved in the passing game, I think, when the big weapons are back. They're going to have to kind of pay attention to him.
Their top 3 receivers were out.
It's so hard. But last week Tom Brady didn't look good, right? He didn't look good last week. He didn't look good this week. I can't blame him this week, but dude, his total QBR is like 60. He's thrown for. This is the worst start to a Tom Brady season.
Is Tom Brady still a good quarterback?
Yes.
We know what was going on in the offseason. Apparently, these rumors are coming out with him and his wife. Like, is it a thing? Is what I'm getting to. Like, are we scared of Tom Brady, and does that make us scared of the weapons around him? No.
I mean, it's
drops.
You have to go on history, right? It's going to come back once everybody's back. Once they're
Yes.
on the field, it's going to click at some point.
Brady
I
didn't
just-
get-
You're right.
training camp didn't happen.
I've been hoping for so long that
Whose
Brady
fault
would
is
fall.
that?
He never does.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
No training camp. I was like, I put it in the Discord chat. There was so many drops in that game.
I
And
get
the
it.
Saints they were supposed to be a top 5 defense this year.
I get
So
it.
let's not count out like the Bucks and Saints defenses are both top tier defenses. But
Lattimore always has Evans' number.
right.
Um,
Scotty Miller, bad routes, drop balls, Perriman, drop balls. Like it was nonstop. Like they
I
just could not hold the ball.
Dude, it's something to keep note of that, like, okay, Tom Brady has been like a top 5 QB the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. This
better
year.
sit him next week when he has Perriman, Scotty Miller, and Russell Gage as his top
for
3
sure.
options.
Jared Goff is playing for me. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, so is there any news on Godwin? How long he's out?
I think.
I saw a report saying that it didn't look good, but I don't remember where it was from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sit Brady this week.
yeah. Don't play any of
Okay.
those receivers either.
Yeah, I mean,
Play Lenny.
especially if
Play Lenny.
Godwin's not there, even if Julio's back, I'm still not going to touch him.
No.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. Lenny's a surefire start.
Yeah.
Godwin and Evans when they're there, I think it's safe plays.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I love Mike Evans.
It's just weird. It's just a weird situation. Saints. Who did Tampa? Alex? I think we all kind of did Tampa, right? All right, so let's all do the Saints. So Saints, let's get into this. Jameis did not look great, man. 3 picks, a touchdown, but just didn't look
They're bad.
Good. He didn't look great the first 3 quarters of last week. I don't think they'll go away from him anytime soon, but not ideal. Not ideal. Michael Thomas and Chris Olave look great though.
Yeah.
Right? I think they're I think they're both plays. I think for sure Michael Thomas is a must start.
Yep.
Chris Olave to this point, I mean, how do you not start him? At least in your flex. He's getting a ton of targets. He's getting the air yardage. He's getting downfield. His average depth of target is great. He got in the end zone week 1, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty positive.
I think so.
I mean, for a rookie, man, he looks good. He looks good for a rookie. And him and MT on opposite sides, they're balancing each other out, and it looks good.
Yeah, I'm good with playing either one of those. Obviously, this offense looked way different without Kamara, right? Not having him in there makes Jameis throw it down the field a little more. I know he's never been a big check down guy, but it takes that threat away, right?
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Nobody
don't have any
was worried about it.
Even when Kamara's back, it's an instant start. Any concerns of him? Because he didn't look great week 1.
Right. Again, small sample size, right? I think he's got to show me a couple of times that he's not going to do it for me to go away from him.
So his first week back, you're plugging him back in?
Probably.
Yeah. Unless you have awesome running backs. I agree with you.
Or unless it's one of those, the only thing that gives me concern there is if it's like that doubtful playing, right? And he just suits up because they need another body. You see that sometimes. But I want to make sure that he's practiced and he's coming back and we know he's getting on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm lower on Kamara this year than most years. I just kind of figured regression was coming with him. But you probably took him in the first or second round. I mean, that's where he was going. So I don't know how you kind of backtrack. Jarvis, week 1 monster this week, subpar. I think he had 8 points.
Doesn't do it.
I had high hopes after week 1. I really did. I thought he was going to be involved. Maybe when Kamara gets back and they can kind of. Tampa Bay's defense is, one of the best in the leagues.
It might be them and the Bills might have the best.
That's what. So this week could be kind of an anomaly just because of how good the defense was. So we'll kind of keep it.
Jameis's former team, there's a lot that went into it.
Yeah.
Jarvis has always been on the fringes, though, right? He's always been on the fringes of
not being great,
of not being
good.
He's a PPR guy. That's it. He's never going to get you anything outside.
Yeah, he's always been in that, maybe low to
Jarvis or Jameis?
Jarvis, in my opinion.
Okay.
I've never thought that he was anything.
In Miami, he was a top 10 play.
Yeah, but it's been, it's
week season 1 of the Browns. He was very good, but again, dude, he had. It was not a pass-happy offense. It was more tight end based, and it was Baker Mayfield throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's just been a guy for me the last couple of years. That's he's a flex filling when you need him. I'm never targeting.
I'm cool with that.
Hey, I really want to get this guy on my team.
I think he's rosterable.
Yeah,
I think you should have him on your roster if
he's
available.
Right. Michael Thomas can get injured, so
that's true. Yeah, true. MT, man, though, I'm very happy that he's doing what he's doing.
Oh, he's looking good, man.
He looks great. The league is better when he's that good. Check in from one of our dudes, Albert, when we were talking about tight ends. I missed this. I've been saying this. Okay.
Mario hates it.
Mario hates it. I was saying this last week. Me and Mario got in a little scuff about it. Dude, he's a fucking play, dude.
Yeah.
He's a play.
Yeah, you have to.
He has
I mean,
18 targets in the first 2 weeks as a tight end. That's insane. Like, it's Andrews, Kelsey, Higbee on targets.
I dropped Higbee after that Hawkinson trade.
Dude, Higbee,
Thanks, Mario.
Bro, he is not, like, flashy. He is not, like, great by any means, but
he gets open.
In that offense, he's going to get open because there's so many weapons. Like,
he gets open. That's all that matters.
He's for sure rosterable, probably startable at this point.
You have to start him. He's a low end tight end one. You have to start him.
I'm with you. I mean, if you have Higbee, you probably have somebody else, but
Mario, I hate it. I
freaking
hate it.
Okay.
Probably eating a hot dog crying right now.
All right, let's hit this last game and then we can get out of here and go watch some football because I'm jonesing. Don't even know the score. Mario, what's the score? Send it to us.
7-7. It's on my phone right now.
Ooh.
You son of a bitch. I didn't even think about that. I should have played it. All right. Probably my favorite game of the week. Commanders, Lions. Like, great game. It was a great game. Good for fantasy purposes, too. This was an awesome game for, like, all the players you wanted 100%. To see it from. House, why don't you start with the Commanders, right? Carson Wentz, first off, is QB2 right now.
Yeah.
Let that sink in, everybody. Like, Carson Wentz is quarterback 2 in fantasy football over 2 weeks.
Wild.
What are you doing with him?
Man, I feel like he's off to a hot start and you have to play him, but I'm so scared to do it.
Obviously, he was probably not drafted. You probably picked him up after week 1. Maybe if you had, like, dude, Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, I'm dropping Aaron Rodgers for Carson Wentz right now. No question. Right? Yeah, no question. But, like, so say you have this is kind of the guy in my mind because I think he's right there, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, who are you playing?
Here's the thing with Stafford. I probably play Stafford, and it's solely based off of the amount of weapons around him.
Because I don't know anymore,
right, dude? Wentz has some weapons. It's wild.
It's nuts.
They might not win a lot. They're going
to be behind all the time.
It's good for him that they suck.
Curtis Samuel is real. He's the truth.
I hate Curtis Samuel.
I know we've already gone over this, but he's a dog.
He's good when he plays, and he's playing right now. And goddamn, is he's a top 6 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not play that guy? How do you not play him? But okay, I get it. It's 2 weeks.
Still getting target share.
I get it.
It's 2 weeks, but it's also like he's getting the targets, but he's also like they are manufacturing runs for like they're manufacturing touches for him in the run game. They're like making a point to get that guy the ball.
I know they are, and it's again, like I said, I've had anti Curtis Samuel bias, and I don't know why.
I hate it.
Yes, Mario. Mario just says, "This house hate Curdy."
Holy.
Well, we were both trying to share stuff at the same time.
Felix, I can't share that, brother, but I appreciate the comment.
Yes, I do not like Curtis Samuel. I don't know why. Probably burned me in the past, and it's just one of those things.
Probably.
You probably
drafted him, got hurt. You probably did it 2 years in a row. Got hurt twice in a row. I mean, that's what he did.
You write him off, and you're done with it.
Yeah. Well, the shitty part of it is he's taking targets away from T-Mac.
Yeah.
T-Mac is still doing he's still good on limited target work. You want to see that come up. If you really want to see that come, because he's so good.
What do you know what he had in week 1? He had 8 this
4.
week. Yeah.
I believe it's 4 targets. I have
it wasn't a ton.
Let's see here. I got targets, most targets in the league right now. But up. Curtis is 13th with 18 targets, tied with Tyler Higbee.
Gross.
Right? Isn't that fucking wild?
I'm not surprised. I'm not.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I've been on this Wentz Curtis Samuel train since they were talking about the chemistry that they were having. Like, I've been on this train. I wish I had Wentz higher, but he's gonna light it up. with only Michael Pittman. What did Wentz have? Like 26-3, something like that. 26-4.
Bro, I mean, McLaurin isn't even the top 50.
No,
He's below 12 targets over 2 games.
he's gonna be the odd man out, and I have him, which sucks.
But he's like,
He'll be all right.
He'll be okay.
he's gonna be fine.
He's not gonna be a wide receiver 1.
No.
But he's still gonna.
Did you have wide receiver 1 expectations for him going into the year?
I had low, or
I think I had him.
Consensus was 13.
I had high end wide receiver 2,
Yeah.
which I think is still
I don't.
viable.
I think he's a low end wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. There's too many weapons.
I mean, I don't want to bank on an injury, but how long? And also, how long is Curtis Samuel going to keep this up? Like, he's playing out of his mind. I don't anticipate, like, even if he doesn't get hurt.
He played really good with bums at Carolina.
I get it. Like,
This
he's
is
a
the
good
best
player.
QB he's ever had.
He's a good player, but I also think he's getting open because T-Mac is getting. I'm sure he's getting shadowed by the cornerback one.
Exactly.
Okay, so when does a team see how much Curtis Samuel is hurting them, and they're finally like, okay, maybe he's not going to get the cornerback one all the time, but instead of shadowing T-Mac, it's more of like when Curtis is on one side, that's a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna shadow T-Mac. Is what I'm saying.
Right, but how confidently can we say that McLaurin's he's drastically better than Samuel when it comes to fantasy at the end of the year?
That's a good question.
They're going to be pretty close. They really
question.
are.
If Curtis Samuel stays healthy, it's going to be an interesting season to see how this plays out. And not to mention, dude, Jahan Dotson, he's playable. How are you keeping him out of your lineup? All 3 of those.
Let's remember that they have done this against Jacksonville and Detroit. Neither one of them have what you would call world beaters on defense.
Bottom quarter teams, indeed.
Yeah,
I mean, fair.
Like, I'm curious to see what they do. They got Philly next week, who
that's a test.
Reasonable defense, right? That's what I want to see with some of these guys.
Right,
I'm with
what
you.
It looks like when they go up against some dudes, right?
Yeah,
fair.
That is fair.
Okay, I'm with you. So let's see. I mean, what do you start Carson Wentz next week against Philly? Or do you want to see it?
No, you start him.
I mean, he's putting up stats, but like
you have to.
I'd probably run him out there.
He's throwing picks. Yeah, I mean, he's putting the points up. Let's get to probably my most hyped team this season.
Bro, you've been smiling with your eyes every time you look at.
I have been so happy about what's going on in Detroit. Like I really have. The 2 guys that I was so high on coming into the season are fucking doing me justice. I'm so happy with Swift and Amon Rab. He's just good, dude. He's just good.
Does that cancel out your Dameon Pierce love?
Dude, Dameon Pierce got all the work this week. I'm fine with it.
He'll be bad.
I'm just saying, the people you were high on were,
he'll be fine. Dameon Pierce will be fine.
I
ain't worried. Wait, let's backtrack. I'm sorry. I want to touch on one more guy of Commanders, and then we'll move on to Detroit. 2 guys. Let's talk about the backfield. Antonio Gibson, not as involved in the pass work this week. J.D. McKissick, a lot more involved. He had 7 targets to Gibson's 4. Yeah. What are we thinking?
Play Gibson until Robinson's back.
I'm playing Gibson. I'm probably not playing McKissick because he just doesn't get.
Are you rostering him?
Probably not.
No. Okay. I would love to see it one more week, but by the time I think he's going to get picked up this week, just with the workload that he got. I think he'll get picked up this week.
You get him like 1 or 2 games, but then it's like Robinson gets in the picture. They're saying he's going to be good after week 3. So
yeah. But who's the odd man out when Robinson's back?
I think Robinson and Gibson split, and they both get work. Yeah, starting off. I mean, Robinson's not going to get a workload just after getting shot up like he's 50 Cent. Like
he's not going to come back to a full workload. That's
Sure. By the end of the season, though, I don't know what's
Who
going to happen,
knows?
right? It's hard to tell what's going to happen with this, but
Right.
there's a clear path for me to seeing, okay, it's going to be a lot of Robinson. Gibson will get involved a little bit, which is kind of why I wanted to fade everyone in this backfield, because I thought it was going to kind of play out with like, it's just going to be muddled. But JD McKissic really might kill any Antonio Gibson like value. If he's taking all the pass work, Brian Robinson comes back. Robinson's cutting into his running work, especially if Robinson gets the goal line work. Like, when is Gibson going to be viable?
Yeah, I think the answer is going to be in the performance until he comes back, right?
Yeah.
So, does Gibson show Gibson from
Are you trading
previous years?
Like, if I have him, I am actively trying to shop him.
For sure.
Gibson? Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, all day.
Right?
Yeah, because you caught, a flash in the pan here for the
lightning in a bottle, yeah.
right, for the first couple of weeks, because otherwise you drafted him and it was like a kick to the gut. You're like,
yeah, I mean, you picked him. You probably got him in the 7th or 8th round, something like that.
Yeah.
And if you can get a solid flex play for him right now, I'm taking that all day.
Yeah,
like if you can trade him and try to get like I don't even know.
Just trade Gibson if you can.
Yeah, if you can, like a Julio Jones, like I'd probably make that move right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Godwin for sure, but I don't think anyone's giving Godwin up.
All right, let's get to the Lions Commanders.
It's a Lions, so we can kind of gloat.
Yeah.
Alex, me and you were the too high on these clowns.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
I'm loving it.
I don't need to gloat too much. I mean, Amon-Ra, 116, 2 tutties. Swift, 7 touches, still put up 16 points.
Goff,
you were all in on Goff. I mean, he was doing his thing. This is even without their number 1 overall pick, a wide receiver. I think this offense is way better when they are utilizing Amon-Ra and getting him touches, because we saw this week they put up a ton of points without really getting Swift too many touches, and I think that's how this offense kind of operates. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Guys might say I'm stupid, but I think they look good when they get him on like 12 targets. House, you're the lower guy. You weren't really too in on these guys. Besides the 2 guys we mentioned, are you in on any of these other guys? DJ Chark, Reynolds had a touchdown this week. TJ Hawkinson, what are you doing with him?
I don't. Is Hawkinson rosterable right now?
Yes.
I mean, you have to roster him.
I mean, yeah, but is he playable?
It's tough.
That's
tough.
It's a question. He looks good.
You just keep waiting, though. You keep waiting.
Sun God's going to get more attention.
This is the year.
Sun God's still going to Sun God's going to get more attention.
He's getting attention, but he's
going to get more.
The way they operate,
double up on him.
Yeah, the way they operate though is they put him in the slot.
Yeah, they're going to double. The safety's going to. There's going to be a lot of safety attention on him. Sun God's going to be great.
Sure,
it's going to end up against better teams. They will have to get the tight end involved.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's for sure, but it's like
for sure.
Are you
starting
willing,
next week?
Are you? That's what I'm saying. But like, when are you gonna play him?
That's my thing with tight ends.
Week to week.
You're playing unless you're in super deep leagues or dynasty, something like that. Why are you rostering more than 1?
Yeah.
If you're not going to play him, why do you have him?
I always draft 2 and play the first couple weeks out to see who's going to be the guy.
It's fair.
And then I'll drop him, right? So, like, TJ Hawkinson or Evan Ingram. Like, where are you going with that? And this is why I like Higbee so much, because I just think he's safe. He's a safe floor. Like, every week, I think he'll get you 8 to 10 points. Like, book it. If you don't have one of the premier tight ends, that's what you want out of your tight end position is like 10 points.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with Hawk. I don't. I mean, maybe you can try to trade him.
You have a low end tight end.
Someone likes him.
It's not a bad idea to roster Hawk.
Yeah.
With the potential.
It's tough to cut him just because, like, if you drafted him, you gave up decent capital, and who who
Or if
can you
traded
have?
for him,
Like, I don't. If you have Higbee, like, would you drop Hawkinson? It's a tough.
No.
Like, I probably wouldn't do it.
It's still there's still trade value in it. I mean,
Mhm.
there's still possible. So you keep him. You don't drop him for nothing. That'd be
Yeah.
stupid.
But if we're talking about these guys, if there's not value for me to play them, why is there a ton of trade value? Unless we're banking on injuries.
The name
Somebody's going out.
name value. You got to look at it like a lot of the people in fantasy leagues are more into name value than opposed to like
That's fair.
legitimate value.
If we were 4 games in and it was like if it was similar stats 4 or 5 games in, then I would say drop him and be confident in dropping him. Like
Yeah.
you gave it enough time, but like as of right now, tight end. The tight end games besides the top 3 guys. I mean, you
Go
don't
ahead, I'm
know.
If I have Hawkinson, what I would do right now is package Hawkinson and a flexible player, somebody decent with some name value, and try to get Kyle Pitts. Because I think you can swing that.
Because Kyle Pitts has done nothing.
Exactly.
He's literally done nothing.
But I think I've talked. I mean, I had this up in that write-up. He was one of my guys that I thought he was going to have a very slow start, and he did because he had 2 of the top defenses against tight ends in the league. To start the season with a quarterback that he's barely played with, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time, and they're gonna click.
It's not a bad idea.
I think that's the move. Like if you can package like Hawkinson and. I mean, if you can afford to do like a Deontay Johnson and get Kyle Pitts and somebody like a RB, someone else in that trade as well. I don't know. I mean, I would go if I have Hawkinson, I would go for Pitts because I think that's the casual fantasy player having Pitts 2 weeks in a row do what he did. I think they're going to be scared, and then you see Hawkinson. Okay, well. If I can get Hawkinson and another player, it might be worth my time. But
it all depends on who you're playing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key with all these things.
100%. So besides Amon-Ra being a top 5 wide receiver and Swift being a top 5 running back, Goff, I think he's kind of the last guy to touch on here. We've talked about him a little bit throughout the podcast. Goff is good when he has weapons around him. I think he's 100%. Kind of showing that he's not a top 10 quarterback, but he's definitely good. 2 QB leagues, you need to roster him
for sure.
But he might be startable in a 100%.
I would start him. I would start him in a 2.
He's a top 15 QB. I mean, I had him. I think 15th going in this year.
Yeah,
and got a lot of crap for it. But there's a ton. That's the thing. When he's had weapons, he's always done well. Always.
He produces. I think he's rosterable in 1 QB leagues. I said it before. Between him and Aaron Rodgers, I would still probably. I mean, I think Goff might be the guy to have out of the 2 of them, which is crazy to say. It's just weapons, man. It's weapons. It's opportunity. It's they're going to play from behind a lot too.
Yeah, defense sucks.
It's going to be this Detroit team is going to be one of those teams that every game I feel like is going to be like 35-30 and just high scoring games. So he's for sure playable.
That's the hang up that you talk about, right? With the casual player, they look at it, they're like Aaron Rodgers, all time great. How can I not start him?
Yeah,
well, you cannot start him because he has no weapons, and Jared Goff is Jared Goff, but he's got a ton of talent around him right now. So
for sure.
Like Alex's Jalen Hurts argument.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I was going to be really wrong on any of it, it was going to be Jalen Hurts. And to me, it's if they win, they've got to win games. But Hurts you've got to play him. If he's healthy, he's a top 10 QB fantasy wise when he's healthy.
Yeah. So I think we touched on almost everything here that we wanted to.
QB1.
QB1. He could be. I think we kind of went through the people we like. The Trey Lance news sucks. A lot of people had him as their QB1 going into the season. You probably drafted a higher QB2. Like I had Kirk Cousins in a lot of my leagues. But if you got to drop them, so some of these names that we talked about are definitely good pickups. I don't know if Carson Wentz is still there, but if he is, I would go 100% for him.
Tua.
And throw everything you can. Tua, Jared Goff, Lawrence. They're all good pickups in the Trey Lance news now that he's out for the season.
Jimmy
Do not
G.
pick up Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Jimmy G. Keep an eye
That's
on.
it. So okay, yeah. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, but Jimmy G, what do you guys think? While I play this final outro, but what do you guys think of him? Are you?
Well,
Sorry,
We're starting over.
my fault.
this guy.
That's me. If you have Lance, would you pick him up, or would you rather have Jared Goff?
Probably Goff.
Goff for Jimmy G. Goff.
Okay,
But Jimmy's not a slouch, and
he looked good.
Remember, he didn't really get to practice with the team at all. They pretty much made sure of it. So give it a couple weeks. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, guys. We have Monday Night Football.
Miles Sanders.
Let's see what he does tonight. This is going to be a fun night of games. Go check it out. Go watch it. I'm sure a lot of people are watching it right now. Hopefully you got a sound in the background. If not, hopefully you watch us tomorrow because we are on Spotify, iTunes, all those major streamings. We go check out the Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We're all over the place. We're doing TikToks. We're doing Instagram now. So go check all that stuff out. I'm Rob. My dude House over here. We got Alex down there giving him his patented wave.
Alex wave.
This is the Hey Jared Goff's playing. Look what he's doing.
That's the Hey Jared Goff and a Amon Ra Love wave.
Devin Duvernay. Hey.
I love it. All right, boys. For all of us from the Dad Squad, we had fun tonight. Go watch those games. We'll catch you later.
Later, y'all.